Angel Gaines, your comedy minute. Go ahead, my friend.
1 second though. You said I can sing?
You, Angel Gaines, I don't care what you do. It is your comedy minute. And you can
Okay.
go 5 minutes. You can go whatever you want.
You okay,
You're
here
in
we go.
charge.
Let
You're
me
in
get that intro
charge.
again. Let me get that intro again.
Angel Gaines, your comedy minute. Go ahead.
Clock strikes upon the hour and the sun begins to fade. Still enough time. Not see. Okay, so during my comedy
Well, now
minute,
what you had me going? I thought it was perfect.
this is the joke that I'm getting into. Now you interrupted. That was the intro of the joke, and I was gonna go into my comedy minute. But see, no, you can't be quiet. So everybody, here's the comedy minute. Scott can't be quiet to let you do your to be acting, your bootleg Whitney Houston song. You know what I'm saying? He needs a script supervisor. Now you know what? I'm gonna do it right now. Hello, everybody. I'm Angel Gaines. Here's my comedy minute, and don't cut none of this. Clock strikes upon the hour and the sun begins to fade. Okay, so basically, that is my karaoke song. And I wanted to say that one of my pastimes that I did not mention is that I love karaoke. And when I go to karaoke, I'm one of those singers who take it serious. I have showmanship, I have a outfit and a routine. But one time, I'm a woman of many hairstyles. As you can see, I'm rocking these beautiful braids by Stephanie. And I had on a wig in karaoke and I got carried away and my wig was not secure. And I sung my wig off my head. I was so embarrassed, but the song was not over. So, does a true karaokeer be embarrassed and try to pick the wig up and put it on, save face? Or do you finish the song? I finished the song without the wig. Exactly. Because true karaokeers, no, you don't need hair to tear this song up. You don't need hair. Okay. And I picked it up after I ended it, got a standing ovation, and politely adjusted my wig. So the moral of the story is one, you don't need nothing to shine. And two, in your comedy minute, trust Scott. You can do whatever you want. Thank you so much.
Am I allowed to
And
talk
now
now?
you can speak. Now I'm giving you back your show.
On Lauren Michaels, your comedy minute. Go ahead, my friend.
I originally thought I would mention the Michael Jackson bit, but since we just alluded to it,
You can do whatever you want.
I will say having that moment where I talk about my family and I build up to uh finding the moment of how to say somebody died in a comedy environment and hearing people are laughing because of this thing you said, people laughing because of this thing you said, and then you drop a bomb like that and you hear us woof, like the deflation in the room. And it's so potent and powerful, but and it's like you can hear like a pin drop in this moment of like, oh wait. And then the challenge of like, how do we bring it back up again? Okay, because we're not at a funeral and you have to talk about things that you're in a place to talk about them, right? But there's something so like rewarding about that like hearing those little sounds like, oh, like somebody just a guttural emission that they didn't know they were making, but they're just so genuinely responding and so present that where, you can just feel everybody really sharing in that moment. I think I'm just, yeah, just
That's
chiseling into that more and
it's
more.
it, again. I laugh at the wrong shit.
Mhm.
It's just, and you probably should tell them. And I hate to even bring it. You want to tell them what happened, real quick.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. So my this was in speaking of Ron Williams, because the story behind the story
Jesus
is
God.
Ron Williams
Now,
died
we better be
August.
careful because that'll get taken down too. If we talk about that.
It was
Her
August
brother died.
2014.
Your brother died,
My brother
unfortunately.
died
And
a
you do
few
a bit.
months later. Yeah.
We better
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
careful because I really want
That's
people to see.
true.
I really want people to see.
I heard on TikTok you can't say certain words. You have to say he
That
unalived
look said it
himself.
all. That look said
Yeah.
it all. We're living in a time where you have to be so careful, and yet I start the show saying, "Be off air. You can say any fucking thing you want to say."
Right, right, right.
Right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Did you have fun?
I really had a lot of fun. Thank
That's
you.
wonderful. Well, I don't know what else to say other than we got your comedy minute. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, I'll do comedy minute. Let's see.
Tell everybody your name and what you got going.
Sure. Well, I'm Patrick Keane, and you can find me at Keane of Comedy, Keane, like the band from England, Keane, Keane of Comedy on all social media platforms.
I'll put up all the links to everything you
Sure.
have going.
Oh, great. I do a podcast called Keane on Things. Pretty funny, clever, take on words. And then my comedy minute. The funniest introduction I've ever had when I've been brought up at a show was a friend of mine, David Huntsberger, very funny comedian, very good friend.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, great guy out of Colorado.
Right.
He was living in where was he living? I think he was living in Austin, Texas at the time. And we did some shows together in New York, and he said he was going to move to LA. And I lived in LA at the time. I said, hey, why don't you let me know when you come out? I'll get you set up in LA because it'll be helpful if you have little help coming into a crazy town. So that happened. That conversation took place in 2008 in about May or June. And in July, my father passed away. And, suddenly, so I was kind of out of commission, for about a month.
Are you sure this is a comedy minute?
Yeah. He passed away. So Huntsberger is introducing me one time.
Kids, gather around,
Yeah,
kids.
gather around.
We're coming up on the comedy.
Here's the laughter part. So David Huntsberger is on stage introducing me, telling the audience this story. And he says, because Huntsberger came out to California and he reached out, and I forgot to get back to him. And he said, I'm out here, but I'm going through this grieving period with my father passing. So I didn't respond for a couple months. And I finally did. I finally said, hey, man, I'm sorry. I've been out of touch. My dad passed away, a couple months ago. And I'm just kind of getting back on my feet. So Huntsberger tells that story in front of a crowd at an audience. And he tells a long story, just longer than I've just told you. And the place is dead quiet. And he said, and so the whole time, Patrick Keane's not getting back to me. I think he's, kind of a typical LA son of a bitch. But it turns out, ladies and gentlemen, that he wasn't getting back to me because his dad died. Dead silence. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Patrick Keane. And the crowd is so confused. And I'm all, Huntsberger, that's the best introduction I've ever gotten in comedy.
I'm confused, Patrick. I'm confused. I'm confused, Patrick. Hey, Jodi K, your comedy minute. Go ahead, my friend.
Hey guys, I just want to say, been a pleasure hanging out with you. As some of you know, I grew up playing sports, and basketball was my first love. Well, basketball and boys. So I do remember in a big basketball game, I was a 4-year varsity letterman when I was in high school, but I was probably in like 10th or 11th grade. Big basketball game, hundreds and hundreds of people in the bleachers out there watching. Of course, me being boy crazy, I've locked in on like the 3 hottest guys on the bleachers while I'm warming up for my game. So I always want to look pretty, but I'm also actually a very good basketball player, or at the time I could say I was. Long story short, I'm getting pumped up, warming up for the game. These guys sitting right there are so hot that it's making me nervous and anxious as I get before comedy shows sometimes as well. We're about to start the game. Before you know it, I'm puking all over the basketball court, right in front of all these boys, in front of all these people. Before the game even begun, I'm puking all over the court. What's the lesson from this story? There really isn't one, but I think just be yourself, have fun with things, and if you could puke on a basketball court and then come back and get 22 points and win the game, everything's going to be all right.
I was just, you know what? I wondered how that story was going to go. And that was going to be the question. How did you end up doing?
Great.
You scored 22 points, probably grabbed a batch of rebounds.
Hell yeah. That's right.
You are an amazing basketball player. We touched on that earlier, but that was a great story.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
You're
you so
amazing.
much for having me.
It was my
Thank you
pleasure.
so much.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Elyssa Phillips, your comedy minute. Go ahead.
My comedy minute is going to be, I wanted to tell you, I do a lot about my mother. I do a lot about my Jewish mother.
I know you do.
Okay, there's good reason why. And I last October I got to perform in New York, and it was the first time my mother has ever seen me live. Every time I do a show where she can tune in online, she does, but I had never been able to go east of Ohio, actually. And I finally did. I performed in Philly, and my dad and family and all my like Philly friends live there because I lived in Philly for a while. And then I performed in New York, and my mom got to come. And even though she knows a lot of the jokes I'm going to tell about her, she still finds the need to heckle her daughter on stage. And I'm doing this material about my mom, and she knows that it's an extension of the truth. It's not all true. It's an extension. It's creative license. But she finds the need to be like, that's not real. That's not what I do. That's not actually what I said. Are you listening to me? Like, and I'm ma. So my comedy minute will always be considering what I'm going to say with my mother in the crowd, because my mother will heckle me.
Well,
she's my favorite heckler. I can't get her kicked out. She's my mom. When security's like, do we? I'm like, no. I came out of her. She gets to stay in here by law.
And this was a comedy show in New York.
Yeah, the Grizzly Pair. I'm not embarrassed at all.
I know it.
Yeah,
I know the club. And so she just kept going off.
Yes. I love her very much.
I got to tell you, I have to tell you, Elyssa, that last look you gave scared the hell out of me.
That
scared
is why
the
I'm
hell
still
out
single.
Of me. Yeah, there it is. Why you're still single.
I know.
Scared the hell out of me.
Cool.
I love you.
Thank you so much.
I mean it. Let me stop the recording so we can spend a minute or two off the air if that's okay.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
Keep going. So Lincoln Theater, September 26th.
So it's September 26th. It's actually a comedy special that we're taping, and also a portion of my documentary.
Right.
So I'm so excited because I went in, I saw all the big giant cameras and all the people who are working on this, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Yeah. I really am.
I know you are, and that's why I want to make sure that I do everything I can to help out. I'm going to get this up. I'm going to put all the links to your Facebook, your Instagram, everything, the tickets to the shows, and even your TikTok.
How about, did you see, I just went on TikTok.
I'm just playing.
No, but wait a minute, Scott. I went on TikTok the other day and
I know everything about you. Go ahead.
Do you know I have almost 100,000 hits on that?
It doesn't surprise me.
I was
People are starting to find out who you are.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that don't know who you are, so let's try and get them caught up real quick. I know we don't have a lot of time. Is you started doing impressions of like your father snoring and bumblebees and stuff like that?
Yes.
Is that how it started?
That's how it started. It was really about the crickets. As a kid, I would hear crickets and they had a funny sound, but I could do the same sound. As a matter of fact, I would do the cricket sound in my house at night, and my parents thought the crickets were in the house. That's how spot on they were. And I didn't know, Scott, I honestly did not know what I was doing. Okay. I didn't know what an impression was. I just know I could hear sounds and I could repeat them.
How old were you?
I think I may have been about 5.
Okay.
Because in my kindergarten class, my teacher, my first grade school teacher, Miss Daly, I'll never forget her. She saw something because she called me up to her office and she said, listen, I want you to go home and I want you to learn the first verse of the Bible. Genesis. I want you to remember the first. I want you to remember every word.
Okay.
And I was so tickled pink that she thought enough of me. And I didn't even know I was doing this at that age. But I went home, I learned Genesis, the first 5 pieces, you know, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And when I got back, she came up to the stage and she said, ladies and gentlemen, something to this effect. I don't remember word for word, but she said, we have something special for you. And she said, Sylvia, come on up. And I went up. She whispered in my ear. She said, I want you to do it exactly like you did in the rehearsal, and don't be afraid. So I said to myself, I'm not afraid at all, you know.
Yeah.
And Scott, I don't know where it came from.
Sure.
I don't know, but this is what it sounded like. I'm going to give it to you right now. It was like this. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the audience went bananas. I didn't even have to get through all. They were like, who is this little child up there like that? And so from that day forward, I was imitating my teachers, my principal, my neighbors, my friends, parents. You know, I didn't know it was a gift. Nobody knew it.
Meads, your comedy minute. Go ahead, my friend.
Wait, I think we should also refresh what we're doing on this comedy minute.
Oh,
I tell my jokes.
You do whatever you want.
Okay. So one of the jokes that I'm working on is a biological joke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I like to craft a bunch of different things into what it is I'm saying. So I'm talking specifically, one of the jokes that I'm talking specifically about is the fact that, like, I'm afraid that dick size is genetic, which it is, right? We have white people to thank for that. For only thing I'll ever thank y'all for is black dick just unanimously being big. Like, that's the only thing, even though that's not technically, whatever. I'm getting ahead of myself. So, like, one of my genetic fears is the fact that I'm afraid of being a bitch walking around with a big dick gene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, no, stay with me. Hold on. Stay with me. Think about it. Big dick is a gene, right? That's a genetic thing. That's a genetic trait. But 2 big dick men can't come together and have a big dick baby. A female has to be involved. A female has to be involved in the process. But if a big dick man with a woman have a baby, but it's a girl, that means that girl is carrying the big dick gene.
Okay.
I'm afraid of being that bitch carrying the big dick gene.
I think you may be. I think you may be carrying bigger dick than mine.
You didn't ask me why, sire. Why would you be afraid of being a bitch carrying around a big dick gene?
I don't know.
What if I'm with a man? He's a small pecker. That's all you can call it.
Jesus God.
He hit you with the hit. No, like, that's all you can do. It's a minor inconvenience when he hit you with that shit, but you love him. You with him. Y'all have a son. 18 years later, he dashing through these holes. No Saint Nick. His girlfriend at the time goes, wow, what a mighty large penis you have. He not about to look at that bitch and go, thank you, I got it from my mama. No, the fuck you didn't. No, the fuck you didn't. You didn't get that from me. You didn't get that shit from me. The worst part about my genetic joke is breast cancer runs on my daddy's side of the family and big dick run on my mama's side of the family. And I don't really know.
Oh, Jesus God.
So I was doing Punnett squares, alleles and shit, trying to figure out, like, if I got this gene, like big dick, but big D, little d. Little d, little d. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ever gets the Punnett squares, alleles part.
Laura Hayden, your comedy minute. Go ahead.
Well, this is a little bit of a story. Like I told you, I've performed in 47 countries. And you would think the craziest thing that ever happened to me, and I pride myself that nothing, I mean, literally nothing can happen on stage that will throw me off. Nothing. I have, because I'm medically trained, I've jumped off stage and give the Heimlich maneuver to a guy in the front row that was choking on a chicken bone bounced. Went on with the show. I've fallen out of a stage in the Sea of Marines and Road to Spain, got up and fell off the stage. Didn't break anything, got on the show finished that show like a boss. I had a show that I was doing in Scotland where it was upstairs was happy hour, but downstairs was not happy hour. So I took the entire audience upstairs for happy hour prices on the drinks, entertained them, and then brought them back down and finished the show because who doesn't want discount on drinks? I've taken an entire audience outside during a fire drill. I've bounced a little person out of my show. I've had to take a dog out of the show. I've had to take a homeless person on the show. I've had a woman's water break while I was on a show. I've had countless amounts of penises, vaginas, and boobs flashed at me during a show. And you would think one of the craziest shows I ever done would have been in Amsterdam, but it was not. I was flying from Amsterdam to Salem, Oregon, because that's the kind of rock style lifestyle I have. So I was flying from Amsterdam to do shows in Salem, Oregon. And I get to Salem, Oregon, and I don't know if you've been to Salem, Oregon, but it's a little bit ding, 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 vibe there. Not all of it. So it's a theater show. I have to do an hour. So it's a theater. It's 300 people, and it's ramped up seating down below and then ramping up, and I'm on the stage. And I start the show. I'm about 10 minutes in, and there's couches in the front 2 rows, and then it's just regular seating, theater seating. And I look over the stage to the left, and there's a couple around their 70s, and I look over and I look at them, and I'm like, that guy's getting a hand job. So I don't want to mess with their party going on there. I was like, okay, I want to ruin their fun. I was like, I will just not look. So I was like, I won't look. Then I'm proceeding with the thing. And so I look over and on the other side, there's a couple in their 30s, and he's full on this woman's shirt, honking the horns, dialing the knobs. I don't know. I'm not a lesbian yet. Might be later in life. I'm saving it for the nursing home years. And so I was like, don't look. So I was like, just look straight ahead. So I look straight ahead, and it spreads to the first 2 rows. Everybody's like full on. It got so crazy that I was asking people in the back of the room if they could see what's happening in the front of the room. They were like, yes. And I was like, I turn around. I'm like, is Ashton Kutcher coming out back here to tell me I'm punked? What is happening? It spread to the first 2 rows. It got so crazy that I actually started doing color commentary. I'm like, buddy, she's never going to enjoy that. Counterclockwise. Anyhow, what I'm telling you is in 2019 in Salem, Oregon, I made 30 people come. So if they don't have a good time at my show, it's your fault.
That's incredible. Stephen Adkins, your comedy minute. Go ahead, buddy.
Well, living in Hollywood, I love movies,
Right.
So I grew up loving horror movies, but the movies they make now are not the same as the horror movies I grew up with. I grew up with movies like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Right.
Now they have Smile. I grew up with Nightmare on Elm Street. Now they have It Follows. I grew up with Hellraiser. Now they have Unfriended. My biggest fear was being cut up with a chainsaw, murdered in my dreams, or dragged straight to hell. But apparently the biggest fear now is a smiling person that's following you that has unfriended you on Instagram. The horror. I watch a lot of movies on Netflix, but what's sort of weird is my Netflix fucks with me a lot. All I watch is horror movies and stand-up specials. That's pretty much it. Right. And my Netflix refuses to believe that I'm not black and gay. My suggestion titles are all LGBTQ stories, black films, black leads. I think my Netflix suggested titles should have nothing to do with my Pornhub search history. Completely unconnected. And I'm going to end with a joke that it was my first rock, and it was such a gross joke, I had to leave it. Because I've got 2 kids. I love my kids so much. Right. But people won't have kids because their fear of changing diapers. But, good thing to know, nature kind of does it for you. Because a baby's butt is kind of like a brand new no-stick pan. Everything kind of comes right off with one wipe. I get really jealous because, I hate to say it, my butt, it's more like an old cast iron skillet. It's got years of baked in flavor. It's well seasoned. And no matter how much I scrub, it's never completely clean. Not to mention my wife's butt. It's like our fine china. I only get to use it at Christmas.
Oh my God.
And I'll say that's it. How's that for a minute?
Oh my God. That's stellar stuff. When did you know, in other words, when you were small, when did you know that you were going to do, entertainment? You were either going to be in comedy or make movies or make films, do what you were going to do.
What started for me was maybe, I don't know, like maybe 6 or 7 years old. I was at like a family party. I think it was my aunt's apartment with her boyfriend. It was like the holidays. I believe it was like a holiday party. I'm in the room by myself. I don't know, because they're all adults and I'm a kid. I don't want to hang out with
You're
adults.
right.
And adults want to hang out with a kid during the holidays, at least, in a function like that. So
Right.
I'm watching TV. I'm changing the channel. They had cable. I'm watching HBO, right? And I saw this guy, Andrew Dice Clay, right?
Right.
Doing dirty, he's doing dirty nursery rhymes.
Yeah.
And as a 5-year-old, I'm like, wait, you could curse? I didn't know you could make these dirty. What? Why didn't you tell me that? So
Wow.
I ran out into the living room and I was like, guys, folks, you got to see this. You got to see this. They're like, what are you talking about? Right? So they come in rushing in the room. I'm like, watch this guy, right?
Oh, no.
The special was over and you're playing Real Sex, right? That show, Real Sex.
Oh,
that,
no. No.
Everyone was just like, what? I'm like, no. There was this guy who was doing dirty nursery rhymes. It's totally, it wasn't wholesome, but more wholesome than this. No, I don't even know what's going on there. What?
This is 5, you said?
Yeah, like 5 or 6. Yeah. So,
wow. Jamie Kaler, your comedy minute. Go ahead, my friend.
All right, so I'm watching your other people. It's always like one little piece of your life.
Nope, you do whatever you want, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's funny because I was trying to think of all the, there's been the amazing moments of like doing the Montreal Comedy Festival and doing late night TV and the heart racing. Right. And there's also the beginning era of being dragged out as a, driving 6 hours to eat a pile of crap. And then have to drive back 6 hours, like those shows.
Right.
But there was one, like we used to do here in LA. I kind of started here on the West Side, and we would do like every bar in town. I remember doing comedy at a maitre d' station, youth hostel where people didn't speak English. There was one at Lucky Strike's bowling alley. There was a show at a laundromat. Like people were doing laundry and we were standing in the corner doing a show. It was absolute insanity.
Okay.
Insanity. But the best was they tried to do a show at a strip club in Beverly Hills, kind of a fancy strip club. And we're all like, yeah, I'll do that. It sounds fun. Because we're thinking like Lenny Bruce, Shecky Green back in the day between like, the strippers up in San Francisco, and they'd get up and tell jokes. And it was like, we had this romantic thought of it or whatever. And so we all show up. There's no audience. There's like a couple of dudes and the strippers. And the strippers, it was supposed to go like a stripper, then a comic, then a stripper, then a comic, then a stripper. And the only people watching the shows really were the strippers. And so it's so horrible. Everybody's bombing. The strippers are yelling at them. It's going horrible. Holly Hollywood, I think, was one of them. I don't know. So I finally get up on stage, and I went late, so I'm already there, and we're drinking. I got a couple drinks under my belt, and I'm trying to I don't have an act. It was early in my career. I didn't really have a great act anyway. And so I try to tell some jokes, and before I can even get like the first line out, the strippers just start yelling out, show us your dick. That's it. That's all they're just yelling at me the whole time. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. I'm telling a joke or whatever. And they just keep yelling, show us your dick. Show us your dick. And I'm like, hey, ladies, please, everybody focus for 2 seconds. Let me just do my act and get out of here. And they keep yelling it at me. So finally, I'm just getting pissed. I'm bombing. It's really kind of painful. And I go, fine. Yes, fine. Here we go. I'll show it to you. And I turn away from them so they can't see.
Okay.
And I pull my pants down and I go, there, are you happy? And I'm looking over my shoulder at them. And, they can't see anything because I'm facing the other way. And they all start laughing. And then one goes, hey, ding dong, look behind you. There's all mirrors.
I knew it was a mirror. I knew it.
Mirrors. I was like, no.
Zahan Sigara, your comedy minute. Go ahead, my friend.
All right, so back to the early July when I was in Florida. We went out to. I was with the Florida comics. He said, let's go to my buddy's house. He's got a boat. So we were in Clearwater area, and he took us out on his boat all day with his wife and his daughter. And they were drinking, we're drinking Miller Lights all day, and we're jamming to country music in the boat. Very American day. I felt very, very American, right out in Florida on this little boat, and we're having a good time. Then we go back to his place and we hop in his pool and we're still drinking. And this guy was an ex-Marine, right?
Okay.
Big dude. I know he's a current Marine, I guess. And he was just like off. And he was probably 25, 30 beers in. And so we left there and he's like, oh, let's go to this bar real quick. And then you guys can leave for your show. So, all right. So we went to this weird dive bar, which everyone was smoking in, which I didn't know people could, but whatever. And we were there for like 10 minutes, had one more drink. And we're like, all right, we got to go. He's like, oh, I want to come to the show. I want to come to the show. I was like, yeah, come to the show. It's fine.
Oh, no.
So we go to this little open mic type show because it was an off night. And we do some comedy and it was pretty bad. It was just like nobody there. So we're just kind of trying out new jokes. Everyone's just dicking around. This guy starts just heckling us while we're on stage, his friend. So like, whatever, nobody's here. Then we leave there and we go to Side Splitters, where Lewis was filming his special that night. Because I went down there because I did a guest spot on Lewis's special. Then I had another show a few days later. And this guy was plastered by this point. Since Lewis's show was over.
25 beers. I didn't get past 25 beers, 23 beers.
He got to the point where he wanted to fight everyone he met. So he comes up to me and he puts his hand on my shoulder and he goes, I like you. You're a nice guy. But I've been deployed in the Middle East and you look like the enemy. So I might kill you.
Julia Jasunas, it is your comedy minute. Have some verbal tea and tell everybody what you want to tell them.
All right. So there are shows. I don't know if it's like this in Pennsylvania because I don't know what the laws around cannabis are.
Whatever.
But
Cannabis dispensaries.
Yeah. Are they?
Yeah, we have them. Yeah, I know right where they're at. I have a friend.
Okay. You have a friend?
Yeah.
Just one?
I always inhale.
That's good.
Yeah, buddy. 420. Let's go.
Well, there are shows at dispensaries now.
I know about it.
Okay.
Sure I do.
When they first started out, I went to one to check it out because my friend was on it. I was not performing. And they offered me a dab. I had no idea what it was. And, for the viewers, it's concentrated.
You did a dab.
Yeah, it's concentrated weed that just
buddy. One hit.
Face. And and so I'm watching the show and the room is getting more and more hot boxed. And I'm texting my friend. And I remember I had a box of Altoids and I'm just eating them. I'm just eating my Altoids. And I read the thread later and I was like, I'm fisting mints. And he was like, what? And I said, I can't feel half my tongue. And after I texted that, I hear on stage, Julia Jasunas, everyone. And they were ambushing me and tricking me into going on stage. So I got up there. I was like, okay, how's this going to go? And I just look around and I'm like, oh my God, you all have shoes. You have shoes on.
Brilliant observation.
Yeah, I'm not an observational comic like that usually, but that was my moment. And
that's an absolute wonderful comedy minute. I swear to God. There you go. Let me say the pup. Who's the pup? Oh my God, look at that guy. I love him.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Ruby Tuesday.
Ruby Tuesday, yeah, buddy. Like a Rolling Stones song.
Yeah.
Brady Matthews, your comedy minute. Go ahead, my friend.
You know what? I'll tell you what, like I said, I'm a single dad. I don't know if we didn't cover that too much, but I am a single dad. And the thing I hated doing was I hated going to functions that I didn't want to go to, but I had to go. Here's the thing. This was the height of COVID. And I don't know if you know this, but people were very recreational when it came to booze and drugs. And I was one of them. And, I wasn't a big mushrooms guy, but we had to go to a baby shower. And why do I have to go to a baby shower? Because I'm a huge pussy. And I said, sure. So we go to this baby shower and I must have had some sort of chemical imbalance because I took 3 edible mushroom gummies.
Okay.
So I go to the baby shower and my ex is like, you know, she goes and does her thing. We don't really talk to people in public anyways together because we hate each other. So what I do, I forgot. I said, I'll make this fast, but
take your time.
Yeah, but I forgot that I forgot that I took them. I forgot. I'm not kidding you. I literally forgot I took the edible gummies. This is a true story. So I go to the bathroom and I'm washing my hands and I look in the mirror and I go, holy fuck. I was turning into Wolverine. Wolverine. True story. The chops were coming because I'm already hairy. So my brain started moving my hair and parting my hair like this. And I swear, I'm not kidding you. I looked in the mirror and I go like this, finally. And I thought I had claws like this. This is true. I had claws in my hands. I was like, dude, this is the coolest shit ever. I was like, dude, I'm Wolverine.
And you're at
So
a
I
baby
go out
shower.
and I go, but here I got scared because I go, I can't open the door. They're gonna know Wolverine was in here. He's gonna scratch the door with his claws. So I swear, so the door was already open. So I walk out. She's standing there and she goes, what's your deal? And I go, don't talk to Wolverine like that. Right? And she goes, what? She goes, do you want to go? I said, yes. Yes, I want to go. Let's go. We get in the car. True story. We get in the car. I am tripping. And it started happening to where the mushrooms were really fun. And then we started turning to where I thought I was dying. Now I'm dying. So I went from Wolverine to dying. And I'm not kidding. You know that famous picture where it's like Jesus and I don't know whoever the other guy is are touching hands and they're in heaven. I thought I was in that painting now. And she looks at me and she goes, I'm tripping. She goes, are you okay to drive? And I said, 100%.
Oh my God.
This is true. I took out my cell phone. I tried to plug it into the ignition. She goes, what are you doing? I looked at her. I go, who the fuck are you?
Ed Tyll, your comedy minute. Go ahead, my friend.
I'm single. This is the long-standing, unresolved conflict of my life. Beautiful women, dating, I don't know. So I've turned, Scott, as I've told many people, to true crime television.
Right. Yeah, I love
That's what I use to go and find a hot babe for a date and maybe more. And I have a favorite show. It's called Snapped. And it's a show where every Sunday, a woman snaps on her boyfriend or husband. And at the end of the show, when she's convicted, guess what they do for Ed Tyll? They give you the name of the prison she will be released from and the release date. Ha, ha, ha! So my friends are swiping with catfish, and I am engaging a woman of action. And then we begin, Scott, what could be a very exciting relationship. I mean, look, if she stabs me in the middle of the night, I can't say that wouldn't be exciting. She's just got to get me to the hospital on time. I'm not really a bleeder. So you know what I mean.
There's a new show coming out, Beyond Snap.
Right, that Scott, you reading my mind. The new show that's coming out, they're taking it up a notch. And I have to say, women who kill their men using their lady parts was even a little shocking to me. I mean, how lethal can a labia be? Have limited reading on the subject. I haven't seen a lot, but I have to say, doesn't look dangerous. The women kill with the lady parts. The show will air immediately after Wicked Tuna. It's got a very catchy title, Deadliest Snatch.
Madinah, your comedy minute. Go ahead, my friend.
My name is Madinah. I identify as biracial because my dad is Black and my mom is African American. You got to get your wins where you can take them, you know. I identify as mixed, is what I'm saying. I'm mixed in this day and age. And I am a state representative. I'm a politician. So I do politics and I do comedy, and people are always like, why do you do two different things? They're so different. And I'm like, yeah, they're not really that different, right? Like, a lot of clowns in both professions. A lot of a lot of white guys with bad opinions who should have gone to therapy, instead. A lot of that. And so as a young Black Muslim woman in politics, there's a lot that's just not for me, Like the other day they had us do sexual harassment training. I didn't need that. That wasn't for me. That wasn't for me. I could teach that. I could teach that class, Scott. Yeah. They wheeled a TV in,
So could I.
closed the doors, and made us watch videos on how to not do sexual harassment at work. And so between me and the TV is just a sea of white-haired white guys making sounds like, huh, can't do that. It's like, can I get out of here? Trying to go to an open mic, So that's my experience as a politician. I have vitiligo, for folks that might not know what it's called, Michael Jackson disease, right? My body gentrifying itself. If you're familiar, that's like when white people move into the neighborhood and suddenly you don't recognize it anymore. That's my body. Yeah. So I sing a lot of Michael Jackson when I get ready in the morning. But one of the fun things about having vitiligo is people often come up to me and try to give me medical advice, which you could be, a very negative person and be like, I don't like this. Or you could be a positive person and look at the way I look at it, which is I get to find out just how unhinged the person that I'm talking to is. Right? Like, do they believe in modern medicine, or are they like convinced that the way to solve every medical problem is by fixing your gut? It's all about the gut. Yeah. That's I've been calling them the gut people. It's like this new type of person that no matter what your ailment is, they're always like, well, have you tried kombucha? Have you tried? Really got to get your microflora correct, I'm like, no, I haven't tried kombucha. My mom is kind of into this like holistic medicine now, and I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. So she was like, Madinah, you should try an elimination diet, which is where you eliminate everything from your life that causes you joy, and then you still have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. That's a lot of fun. So, yeah, I have a lot of autoimmune conditions, which is basically your immune system's fighting itself, right? Instead of bad guys. You might have a friend like this that's like angry at someone but slaps himself, right? And you're like, dude, what are you? Focus, that's my immune system. Yeah. And I've like I like having vitiligo, honestly, as a comedian because I have something to talk about, right? And like when people are talking about their favorite Muslim female comedian who wears hijab, you need something to differentiate us. So I think it's a blessing.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So that's a bit of me. And it's a lot of fun.
I love you. I think you're fantastic. Joe Crovella, your comedy minute. Go ahead, my friend.
So quick thing. This comedy, is it like a story or is it a joke that we have to tell?
Joe, I may be old, but you're an idiot.
I never denied
I told you, I sent you messages. I sent you one to look at. You can do a minute. You can do 5 minutes. You can do whatever you want. It's called your comedy minute. You can say or do anything. It can be jokes, a bit, a story, whatever you want.
Perfect. All right. So I remember one time I got in trouble at one of my jobs because at my old job, they didn't want us calling people sir or ma'am to offend them, which was crazy for me because I'm Italian and Hispanic. So when I see a girl with a mustache, I just call her Tia. And then that's how I got in trouble for one of my jobs. But that's my comedy minute, man.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell a story. I don't know,
tell a story.
I'll tell a story. All right. So one time I was hosting a show out in Long Island, and some guy had a heart attack in the audience. So there's like 300 something people in the audience.
It's a big one. It's a big one, Elizabeth.
And the worst part about it is like I'm still relatively new at this time, so I'm not really good at working the crowd or anything like that. So the guy has a heart attack, but they want to keep the show going. after. So they don't want to turn the lights on, because once you turn the lights on, everyone has to go out, whatever. So the guy leaves and I have to go back to the stage. So I'm out on the stage. Everyone's screaming, bugging out. People are crying, having panic attacks. And people are asking me for defibrilizers. Like, it's like not like they're acting like it's a fucking medic. It's a comedy club. There's no defibrilizers. The only thing we have is maybe someone's got coke, defibrillator, whatever it is. Maybe someone's got coke in their pocket. Like, that's the only thing that'll wake you up there. And yeah, this guy's like just basically like croaking on the floor. And I have to maintain the whole entire crowd. Think of it, it's like 300 something people, and it's like a fundraiser show. It's packed out, people are outside, and I have to just distract and whatever while they're screaming at me to get the lights on, and I'm just pretending like I don't hear these people, even though I do. Chaos. The ambulance comes, takes it out. Everyone's just so shooken up and scared, and I go like this. I go like, all right, guys, he's the only person that doesn't have to pay on his tab tonight. And everyone starts laughing, and then we just had ourselves a show.
There you go. Robbie De Silva, Hot Rob Comedy. It's your comedy minute. Have at it, my friend.
All right. So we talked about my early influences, and then we also talked about me being a kid. So I'm going to share a couple funny stories I think are funny. Earliest memory from I was about 5 years old, and I was a smart ass, and I was always saying things to make my mom and other people laugh.
Right.
And I remember one time I was in the kitchen while my mom was cooking, and I had one of my Hot Wheels dinky cars, they were called, back then for those people. And I remember just zooming it on the wall, up and down and all over. In my head, I had a punchline or a tag or whatever you want to call it, just waiting for my mom to snap. And as soon as she did, she was like, "Can you stop that?" And I was like, "What's the matter? Am I driving you up the wall?" As I'm going with the car. She'll still remind me of that all the time. So you remember, you little smart ass. So it's like I was always coming up with stuff like that.
That's great. That's funny.
Oh yeah. So it's like that's probably my earliest memory of writing a joke or a bit, I guess.
That's great.
Yeah. So
you
then
said you have another one. Go ahead, do another one.
And then I had 2 kids, young, and then raising them. I was a single dad about 98% of the time. I raised them by myself. And there's always that thing, when your parents tell you, "Oh, wait till you have kids." And I was like, "Well, I'll wait till I have kids," because this is a story I remember. I picked up my kids from school, the first day of school, and I think it was grade 1 and kindergarten, because they're only a year apart. Right. So they're in the back seat, and I, how was school? It was great. And I say, "What was your teachers' names?" And my youngest son says, "Oh, my teacher's name is Mrs. Duck." And I said, "Oh, that's funny. That's a weird name, Mrs. Duck." And my oldest son, he's a little more trustworthy and he's a little more honest. And he says, "Dad, he's lying to you. Her name is Mrs. Swan." And I said, "Oh, you little bugger, you got me. Her name is Mrs. Swan." So, the first week of school, you go to parent-teacher interviews, and I go and I meet the teacher and I say, "Hello, I'm Mr. I'm Rob. I'm the, nice to meet you." And she goes, "Nice to meet you. My name is Mrs. Geese." And right there, I was like, "You little shit, you fucking got me." So I'm trying to keep a straight face, trying to say like,
"Are you serious? Is that true?"
And I'm like glad I didn't say, "Hey, Mrs. Swan."
Mrs. Swan, Mrs. Duck.
But they pulled it off with a straight face, like it was.
Wow.
They just let me believe it. And
Jeremy and Missy Hall, your comedy minute. Go ahead.
All right. So we are grandparents now. We are grandparents.
Right.
When Jeremy and I first got together, I gave him 2 things he'd never had. One was a teenage stepdaughter. The other was a cat. And one of them would hiss every time he walked by, and the other one would shit in a box. And that we now have grandbabies, and it is the best.
Right.
And it reminded me when Carly called and she says, "Oh my gosh, Mom, as he said his first word." I'm like, "What was it?" She's like, "He said penis." And I started giggling because I was taken back to not only a memory of my daughter, but a memory of the first comedy show I ever did. I told the story. She was about 2.5, 3 years old, and she's sitting in the tub, and I'm sitting beside her. And she goes, "Mommy, yuck." And I look, and those little Fisher Price little people? Like
Yep.
she's taken a fireman and she has stuck him between her legs. So I just very calmly, don't want to shock the child, don't want to scare the child, just say, honey, get the fireman out of your vagina. I'm hoping that is the only time in my life I will be saying that sentence. And she looks at me with her little face and she's like, that's not a gina, that's a private. I'm like, you're right. That is your private area. And that part of your private area is called the vagina. And you don't, well, honey, you don't keep stuff in there, like you're not going to smuggle things back from Turkey or anything in there. So she's like, well, can I look at it? And I was like, well, it's part of your body. Yes, you can look at it. So she spreads her little legs and she looks down there. She looks at me all defiant. She's like, can I touch it? I'm like, well, again, part of your body. It's a private part of your body. You can touch it, like in the tub, not in Acme, not in the Wawa, but you can touch it. And then she looks at me and she goes, can I talk to it? At this point, I'm just curious. I'm like, go for it. And she looks down and she's like, hello, Gina. I knew I was in trouble with that one. I knew it. And now that she got a little boy who was already interested in his parts, my work here is done. Yep.
Do you miss the fireman?
Yeah, she married a minister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that you had a Peanuts cartoon with Charlie Brown dancing, but Franklin wasn't there.
Franklin's nowhere to be seen.
That's and it doesn't make sense to me. It took you to point it out to me, but it didn't make sense to me. Because you would think that they'd show Charlie and then you'd see Franklin like grooving,
Mm-hmm. But he's just like me. He was watching, having fun. He was watching them just make buffoons out of themselves. Oh man, thank you, dude. You really looked through it. Thank you, man.
Well, sure, we got a lot more to cover. We're just getting started. I believe that you think Nicki Minaj is crazy.
Man, she's losing it. Have you been seeing this, Scott? Have you been seeing her on Twitter, man?
Go ahead, because I'm gonna match you. I'll tell you somebody that I think's crazy.
Who?
No, you go on because you have a couple Instagram posts about it. Nicki Minaj.
Oh, her?
You bring up great points.
The Barbs are mad at me. The Barbs are mad. Her fans, they call them the super fans, the Barbie. Okay. They pissed at me. I was making fun of, and this is real though. She's on Twitter crashing out on every single female artist,
right?
Like in the game, like Cardi B, SZA. She's calling people's kids monkeys and threatening to get them arrested by Trump. I'm like, I didn't even know you had Trump's number. How you about to get people arrested? Like, where's your album? Because I'm a Nicki fan, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I like her music, but crazy's crazy. Crazy is crazy, bro.
She went after Miley Cyrus too. She went after
Miley. People thought I made that up. People thought I made that up on TikTok, bro. That is real. There's a clip of her pressing Hannah Montana, bro. Miley Cyrus. She's talking about some what's up. I'm like, Miley Cyrus ain't fought nobody in her whole life, man. Come on, like what are we doing? Nicki is crazy, bro. I think she's on that snow, or it's some sort of schizophrenic episode going on. And I know she'd be mad at me for hearing it, her fans, but I call a spade, bro. I want to see her get better. You know what I mean? But she's so cool, bro.
Ethan Feldman, your comedy minute. Go ahead, my friend.
This is something that I'm not like super proud of, but it's a pretty funny story in retrospect. So when I was I think I was in like 10th or 11th grade. I think it happened the same year as the SAT story. I was, listening to music. I'm walking to school. I was late to school when I was in high school, like almost every day.
Okay.
Because I lived really close to the school. But they had badges for us. So if I badged it even a minute late, it would mark on my record that I was late.
Right.
I was late all the time. So I'm leaving the house, rushing because I'm late again, and and this is in like 11th grade. I have my headphones in, and I'm walking down the street in New York City. I'm about halfway between my house and school at this point, and I'm walking, and I stop, and all of a sudden I feel myself physically sinking into the sidewalk. Like I don't know what's going on, and I'm not paying attention because I have my headphones and I'm just listening to music. I look down and I have stepped into a block of freshly paved cement. And there was a guy next to the thing scraping it, and he starts screaming at me, "Hey, you crazy kid, you just messed up like my work here." I'm like, "Oh shit." I can't go home to deal with this because I'm already late to school again. I scream, "Oh, I'm sorry," and I just run off. I don't know what to do. I am banging on every single door of random restaurants on the block from my school, trying to figure out what I can do. Finally, this worker lets me into a restaurant. I don't want to show up to school with cement on my shoes, like cement shoes. Like, who does that? I'm gonna be made fun of. Like, there's no way I can. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm not letting that happen. So I go to the restaurant. This guy lets me in. I like took like paper towels. I'm like wiping all the cement off. I rinsed my shoes off in the sink. I dried it with paper towels. I got everything like all pretty much done. And I didn't get all of it off because I could feel throughout the day like my shoes got a little bit crunchy. There were still some little beads of cement that had kind of like hardened on my shoes. But I didn't tell anybody at the school about it. Nobody knows. Nobody notices that my shoes are covered in cement because I got most of it off. School is fine. I'm walking home, and I'm walking home that day, and I I I see that same restaurant. But there's like a bunch of trucks parked in front of it, like workers' trucks. And I was just like, what happened here? That's so weird. So I walked up to one of the plumbers or whatever who was there and was like, and he was smoking a cigarette. And I was like, "Hey, what happened to this restaurant?" And the guy just turns to me and goes, "Yeah, some motherfucker poured cement down their sinks and now their pipes all fucked up." And I was like, "Oh shit!" And I just kind of like was like, "Oh, that sucks." And I just walked away slowly because I didn't. If that worker came out, he would have been like, "That's the kid." Like I ended up shutting down a business for a day, basically.
Your comedy minute, Barbara Carlyle. Go ahead.
Okay. Now y'all all heard the old time bedtime stories. I like to give you the modern versions. Mama Bear got one morning, went downstairs and cooked. Papa Bear said, "This porridge is too hot." Baby Bear said, "This porridge is too cold." Mama Bear said, "Both of y'all lying, I cooked grits." Little Red Riding Hood was walking through the woods one day. Big Bad Wolf jumped out the bushes and said, "Little Red Riding Hood, when I catch you, I'm going to throw you down and make sweet love to you." Little Red Riding Hood said, "No, you ain't. You going to eat me just like the books say."
Right.
Now, y'all know when they make the movie, I'm going to play the part of Little Red Riding Hood. We ain't even got to go to Grandma's house, do the shit right there in the forest. Ain't no use of wasting a whole day taping. I be hollering, "Cut!" I don't think he feeling it. And men are the strangest people in the world.
Yes, we are.
Old men, I don't like old men.
That's me.
Old men don't like me. They say I talk too much shit. Miss Joke. Miss Jokety Joke.
Miss Jokety
All
Joke.
you want to do is tell jokes. I bet if we were to go to bed together, all you gonna do is laugh. I said not till you go take a shower. Then I'm gonna laugh my ass off. But young men will make you feel good about yourself. They'll give you a compliment and don't even know they're giving you one. I had a young guy had a smooth rap. He said, "I could make you mine in 3 kisses." I said, "No, you can't." He said, "Yes, I could." I said, "How?" He said, "I'll kiss you on your lips. I'll kiss you on your breasts. I'll kiss you on your thighs, and you'll be mine." I said, "Oh, man, they ain't but 2 kisses, because my breast is on my thighs. You owe me a damn kiss." Make them give you what they promise. And see, old men don't know how to talk to you. They don't know how to romanticize you to make you do the kind of things they want you to do. If an old man wants you to get in the bed, he'll just say, "Get in the bed." And ain't nothing romantic about that. But a young man will be poetic with his shit. He'll have you doing shit you regret the next day. You'll be sitting on the side of the bed looking like a rape victim, wondering what the hell happened. hoping he don't tell his friends. But you gotta be hip and know what they're talking about, because if you ain't hip, your ass will be lost. If a young man wants you to open your legs, he'll say, drop down and get your eagle on. This little young boy gonna ask me, drop down and get your eagle on. I said, what you say? He said, drop down and get your eagle on. I dropped down. He gonna get scared because it was a bald eagle with a big beak. Some of y'all will get that on the way home. He said, bald eagle? Ain't that rare? I said, no, it's supposed to be pink. You don't get no more for free.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
God bless you. I love you.
I love you too.
Leyla Ingalls, your comedy minute. Go ahead. Hi, Leyla.
Hi, wow, didn't even see you there. That's crazy. Like you're just here on my phone. Didn't plan it at all. So, my name is Layla Ingalls, as you probably know if you're watching this. It will be in the thumbnail, I imagine, right? So, I'm not very crazy, but people think that I am. They think your eyes are way too wide. She has to be crazy. And I'm like, yeah, so what? I got resting wrong whole face. What's it to ya, you know? And so I'm trying to figure out how to look less crazy, but then it had me thinking, what's the craziest thing I've ever done? Like in relation to guys, because I'm not that crazy. But one time I did jump out of a moving car. I jumped out of a car because have you ever been so emotionally shook that you just need to leave the situation right away?
Yeah.
Well, I jumped out of a car and then he was like, get back in the car. You're making a scene. And I said, give a fuck if I'm making a scene. Baby, maybe this will get hot girls to my boyfriend of the time wanted to use me to get other girls for threesomes because he couldn't get girls on his own. And when I learned that information, I jumped out of a car. And then guess what happened?
I don't know.
Hot girls came up to me and were like, honey, are you okay? Is he causing a problem? And then I was like, yeah, look at that. And then me and an army of hot girls walked away. And he was like, the fuck? I've been trying for months to get hot girls to come up to her, but she's too weird. Nobody will come up to her. And as soon as I jump out of a car, all these girls are coming to me.
I'm so confused. I thought hot girls. I did. I'm so confused. I thought he wanted the hot girls.
Yeah, he did.
But they
He
all
wanted
came to you. Okay.
because I jumped out of a car and hot girls
Okay.
will be like, honey, is he
Okay.
a problem? And I was like, matter of fact, he is. And then we all walked away together.
Okay. I love you. I think you're great.
Thank you. I
Stop
think
the recording. I'm going to stop the recording. But one last quick question, Leyla Ingalls. Did anyone ever ask you about your early days on what was it, the Prairie?
Little House on the
Yeah.
Prairie.
Did anyone ever ask you that? Did
Yeah. Laura Ingalls Wilder is actually like a great, 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 great,
I'm
great,
just
great, great aunt.
Are you
Oh,
kidding me?
no, she's only like three greats, but she's in the family.
Are you see now? I pulled that one out of my ass.
No, that's for real. That's where the name comes from.
That's it. Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm glad I brought it up before you went.
So I don't know how to spell lingerie, so I always write down linguini instead. And when you have your phone, autocorrect will fix it for you. But I prefer, but I don't use phones. I prefer to write handwritten letters, with a quill pen. It's I like to put on a pioneer gown and a quill pen and go out in a prairie and write a naughty letter. It's so hot. I mean, it's literally so hot. It'll be like 90 degrees in July and you're in a pioneer ground. Talk about swamp ass, or maybe I should call it prairie ass. So there,
Little House on the Prairie, kids. Keith Purnell, your comedy minute. Go ahead, my friend.
My comedy minute. Well, hey, man. So, I just want to say I've been doing this a long time, man. I just dating again, dating at my age, and it's weird because I had tried the online stuff and I can't do online anymore. I can't. Well, first of all, what made it difficult is I didn't have a computer, so trying to go online without a computer was fucking difficult. But the thing is, they got acronyms. We had to learn stuff.
Right.
You know, like they had. I was talking to a SBF, which was a single black female.
Right.
There was a DBF. I found out was a divorced black female.
Okay.
There was a SWF, which is a single white female.
Right.
And then I was really kicking it. Yo, Scott, it was a DWF. And what does that stand for? A fucking dwarf. This bitch was like 3 feet tall, man. It was okay because I wanted a little on the side, you know?
Dwarf. He's a little.
I want a cougar though, man. I can't get a cougar. I'm too old for a cougar, man. The girl I'm dating is younger than me, man. No, I'm the fucking. She think I'm a sugar daddy. I'm Splenda. She needs a ride. Hey, look, I can get you a bus pass, and you can do Uber rideshare with me. But I can't get a cougar. These cougars now, they're like these young dudes are making out. They getting Jordans. They getting PS5s. I got Jordans. I got a PS5, man. I'll say it. I'm 58 years old, man. You know what? If I was to get a cougar, I don't want a PS5. I don't want Jordans. I need a bitch with benefits. I'm tired of going to urgent care, man.
Health benefits.
She gotta have a pill box. It's gotta say Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. She gotta have high blood pressure. We can share her blood pressure meds. That's all I'm saying, man. That's what I want.
Sounds like my kind of girl. Jeff Capri, your comedy minute. Go ahead, my friend.
I'll tell you just a memory that just pops in my head right now.
Okay, good.
So, and about pre-COVID, I ran a comedy club with my friend Bob Brickell. It was called Surf City Comedy Club, and so we ran the club, and we had a lot of great acts in there. We had Rich Scheidner in. Familiar with Rich? Rich Scheidner in. Great comic. He was the guy for a long time. Really funny, really smart. Nicest guy. Something happened on stage that we had never seen before. He had never seen before. I had never seen before. I've never even heard of this before. He's in the middle of his set, and we hear.
I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear it. What was it?
Oh.
What was that?
Still
Like
can't
that.
hear it.
Still
can't hear anything?
No.
Oh.
What was the
Dude.
sound? Describe it.
It was a squealing of some kind, like a high pitched squealing.
Okay, right.
Like a Deliverance type squealing. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And we don't know what the hell's that going. And Rich misses a beat, and then he gets right back into it, and then it happens again.
Another squeal. Right.
We're like, what the fuck is going on? We're like, everyone's looking around. The audience is kind of going, and it's kind of throwing Rich, and we're, wow, what is that? And we hear it one more time, and finally he goes, what is that noise? We saw it's coming from the corner, and there was a couple there say, oh, we brought our baby pig to the show. Are you fucking kidding me? It's a Saturday night. You brought a pig? You brought a baby pig to the show? Babies, yes. Dogs, sure, maybe. A cat would be weird. But a baby pig of all the it was just so weird. So we had to stop. He's like, you got to be kidding me. He stopped the show. He's like, well, let's bring that pig up. So we got to see, and brought the pig on stage, and we saw the pig was adorable. It was adorable, and it just stopped everything. And the rest of the set was I don't know how to follow this. I don't know where to go. This has never happened before. This is there. So that just became the rest of the show. And
baby pig.
Afterward, we all take pictures with the pig. And I remind Rich of that all the time. And he's like, yeah, that has never happened before.
That is, honest to God, Jeff, you may have pulled it out of your ass, but whatever. One of the best ones I've ever heard. I loved it.
Oh, that's wow. That's
never
kind.
had a baby pig story before, and I've done a lot of these.
No, you can't have a baby. No one has, and no one ever will.
A baby pig story. Cameron K, your comedy minute. Go ahead.
All right. Well, as you said earlier, growing up, if you don't remember, my name's Cameron K. You can always remember it as Special K, which is what my aunt used to call me. That is a true story. And at first, I was always like, "Oh, that's so sweet," just a nickname. Like I'm so full of shit as the kid. I needed the fiber that the cereal brings you. But the older I get, the more I realize that she meant special needs too much Tylenol type of baby. But as I grow older, I realize that she was right. I am definitely autistic, and she had me pegged from a young age. Just kidding. It was my uncle that pegged me at a young age.
Good Lord.
I was voted by my family most likely to be molested. And when I won, I was touched. But in reality, I don't think I was my uncle's first choice. But the classic saying, beggars can't be choosers. And even if you guys don't like that joke, you just got to remember that my mom hates it even more.
I bet.
She's seen it in person too.
Oh God. You mean the pegging or the joke?
The joke, right? The joke.
gonna
Wait,
say,
not the molesting.
What the hell you got going on out there in Michigan? Andrew B. Steiner, your comedy minute. Go ahead, my friend.
So when I was filming my comedy special, Toast for Dinner, we had a very intimate audience, mostly people I know, some strangers who just bought tickets, and one person who I kind of knew from some open mics. This kid, um, Pradesh, he was in the back and right next to the director, and the director at the beginning of the show said, "Don't get up, please. Don't go to the bathroom. It's 45 minutes. We don't want you to ruin the shot because it's a small room." And as I'm telling my jokes, I noticed Pradesh just getting sadder and sadder. Hadn't laughed once. And at a certain point, they asked the director, "Can I please go?" And the director's like, "No, I told you no." And then I see Pradeep started breaking down mid bit, and Pradeep starts crying. It's just tears coming out, and it's a tiny room. So I see them loud and clear, and I just say, "Get up, you can go." Just I stop mid bit, like it's okay, you can go, don't worry about it. And they ran out of there and went to the hallway, and someone talked to them, uh, and they found out that Pradeep had just escaped a cult where they had been in a room forced to listen to the cult leaders' talks in a very similar situation. So this was causing them to have like a flashback, like a trauma flashback. So that was what we cut out of my special. I wanted to keep it in, but I felt bad. I didn't want to like profit off of this person's horrible situation.
I'm having a hard time, Andrew. What the hell was Pardeep doing at your show?
I don't know. I guess they thought they were over it. They thought I'll laugh a little bit, this is it'll be good for me.
I'm trying to wrap my head around the whole thing. The more you're talking, the more he's going ape shit.
He's just losing. He's like,
Are you kidding me?
No, I swear to God. I mean, I changed some details of who this person is just so no one would know and they wouldn't feel bad.
Right.
But yeah, but this did happen.
Chris Lewis.
Yes.
Your comedy minute. Go ahead, my friend.
All right. So, like I was telling you, Scott, this is like never meet your heroes is like a twofold thing. I've just realized that with these two stories. As a kid, I looked up to Little Richard and Bill Cosby. Right? Love Bill. Two people I looked up to. Nothing alike. Two people. I used to watch Little Richard on PBS. He had those little commercials with the piano. I just love I just love Little Richard.
Rudy. I know it.
Yeah, I never know why I like Little Richard. I just love Little Richard. Yeah. And then Bill Cosby, Cosby Show. I loved Cosby Show. I loved him, that special him. I used to play my dad used to play that for me. I love that special. So I met Little Richard when I was 16. Little Richard, I was in LA. I think I might have been on Slauson and Overhill or something like that. I was walking down the street, I was coming from school. This had to have been 2000 maybe, 2001. So I'm walking from school and then I'm just walking and I got my backpack and then a limousine pulls up. And I was like, I wonder who that is. It just pulled up.
Yeah.
And it was just like kind of blocking. And I was like, who is this? And then the window rolled down. It was Little Richard. And Little Richard said, he said, how's your mama doing? I said, my mom. I said, I don't, my mom. I said, Little Richard knows my mom. Now, mind you, this is sidetrack, but my mom went to Fairfax High and she went to school with the Jacksons. And like, so she brought my, so I was thinking he dated my mom. Like, did Little Richard date my mom? And then I went to the car and he was like, he gave me like really words of encouragement. He was like, I hope you're doing good. I hope your mom's doing good. And he gave me a book. He gave me like a spiritual book and he signed it. And I was like, I never forgot that. I just don't, first of all, I don't know why he chose me. And the way he stopped me was like, it was like he knew me. It was like,
hey, know your mom?
No, I told my mom, I said, do you know Little Richard? She said, no, she said she didn't know him.
But you knew who Little Richard was. You saw him and you knew it was.
I knew exactly who he was.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Your comedy minute.
Yes.
Peter Berman, go ahead, my friend.
In my comedy minute, I'm going to tell you my personal favorite moment in my career.
Yes, sir.
And a little bit is some humble. It's a humble brag about what I did, and I'm going to tell you it. But also, it is again the circumstance that existed for me to be able to do it. So, I had the pleasure of meeting George Carlin one time in Las Vegas, and he invited me to his show, and he came down to my show, and the guy was the nicest guy ever, just like Brad, honest, sincere, genuine, real, and a legend, right? And just meeting him and him even telling me he was going to come to my show was pretty cool. And he did come. I thought he was bullshitting me. He did come. That's not it. So years later, he's getting ready to do his last special. And it turns out it's, not long before he dies. And it was at the Comedy Magic Club, and I got to open for him. It was just me and then him. And I'm in the green room talking to him about the time I met him and some other stuff. I actually had a funny thing. I told him one time somebody asked me if I've opened for famous people, and they're listing people, and I go, oh, I opened for George Carlin, and they didn't know who he was. And I'm like, George Carlin? And they're like, and then I sarcastically go, he was the guy in Bill and Ted's that came in a phone booth. And they go, oh, that guy. So I told Carlin that story, and then Carlin goes, my career's been so long. He goes, some people know me from Thomas the Train. He narrated Thomas the Train.
Yeah.
And he's like, some people know me so he's like, anyway, I'm talking to him. He's really nice. And then he's asked for some privacy because he prepares before he goes on. And I said, what do you want me to say about you? And he goes, you can say whatever you want, right? So I'm up there doing my set. Again, it's about 300 people in there. It's a historic club, the Comedy Magic Club in Hermosa Beach. Yeah. And he's getting ready to do his special. And you don't get to see George Carlin in a 300-seater. People will see him in 1, 2, 5,000 seats. So anyway, electric crowd. Again, they believe I'm good just because I'm on the show with them. Nothing to prove.
You are good. Good.
So I do my set. And, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, how am I going to introduce George Carlin, right? And I'm not worried about it, though. I've introduced tons of famous people. I'm not worried how I'm going to introduce them. So anyway, I get the light. I move the mic. And I start thinking to myself, am I going to say, 7 swears you can't say on television, dippy weatherman, a comedy icon? And I'm like, nah. And then I'm like, am I going to say what he means to me? And I'm like, nah. And then this is the humble brag. But the circumstance that allowed to have the humble brag is what I'm most in awe of. This is what I said, Scotty. I go, ladies and gentlemen, George Carlin.
Chris Strait, your comedy minute. Go ahead, my friend.
Well, yeah, people ask the hardest part about being a dad. I'd say from the beginning, you got to name a new human being. And I mean, names are trendy. They come and they go. I mean, one day we're going to have grandmothers named Brittany. Nobody predicted that. That's going to be my grandma Brittany, who lives with Grandpa Hudson. It's just wrong. And we give kids last names as first names now, and everything is like Jackson, Taylor, Tyler, Tucker, Mason, Morgan, Connor, Carson, which makes the kid, when you say his full name, sound like a walking law firm, which you don't think about. That is pressure. I mean, a kid named Logan Flynn can't dig ditches. He's got to run for office. And I realized something because I travel around. This is strictly an American problem. I've been to Mexico 100 times. You know who I've never met? A guy named Lopez Gomez.
Lopez Gomez.
Just hasn't taken off in that culture.
Okay. Lopez Gomez. I wouldn't know what to say to him.
No, I would get it wrong the same way I do with these kids. Are you Jackson Tucker or Tucker Jackson? What are you, Gomez Lopez? I'd get it wrong.
Lopez Gomez.
Well, I appreciate that. I love the best compliment the crowd will give me is when I've on purpose tried to make the topics as dumb as possible. And when they still say that was really smart stuff, because that's good. Because if I can write stuff they view and they know is intelligent about things that are topics everyone can reach, then I'm really reaching everybody the best way. Because I don't want to see, I don't have a Bill Maher, Dennis Miller thing where I do well looking like I'm kind of above the audience intellectually, but I also don't do a very good herf derf, if that makes sense. Like I don't have an aw shucks. There's a lot of comics I know that, I mean, Nate Bargatze is the best at it, a very smart man who comes off as aw shucks.
Yeah.
I don't have that either. So if I sound like your history teacher, so I'm going to sound educated. So if I can do that about drinking, fucking, farting, and fighting, then, hey, I'm really reaching a lot of people. Yeah. So there's some people, that's what they want to hear. But at the end, they're like, no, that was a new take on drinking, fucking,
I think
farting,
that's a
and
new
fighting.
George
And then,
Carlin, drinking, fucking, farting, and fighting. That's a new George Carlin bit.
He would happily go from an atheist rant to time for a few fart jokes and would literally say it. So that's
drinking,
that's
fucking,
kind of what
farting,
I
and
shoot.
fighting. That'll keep me up tonight, Chris. That'll keep me up tonight.
Oh,
Eddie
boy.
Gallagher, your comedy minute. Have at it, my friend.
All right. I thought long and hard about this. Definitely with being open about everything in your life. Everything that I talk about on stage is usually because it's something that has happened in my life. So I remember one night I did like 2 or 3 suicide topical jokes. And I had a lady come up to me and she's like, I didn't really like the material that you put out there with joking about suicide. It's not a joking matter. She's like, my niece hung herself a few years ago. And I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, yeah. She's like, she was a very good soccer player. She was a cheerleader, head of her class, honor student. And I was like, well, was she also in the Girl Scouts? And she's like, yeah, how'd you know? I was like, well, she was also really good at tying knots. So, yeah, she pretty much just walked away because you don't have anything to say after that.
I knew it. Now, unfortunately, Eddie, I don't know that we're going to be able to air that one. No, I'm dead serious. I mean, I'll try it when YouTube
Dead
takes
serious,
it down.
no pun intended.
No, when YouTube takes it down. Joel Marshall, your comedy minute. Go ahead, my friend.
Here in Los Angeles, we have self-driving cars. I don't know if you've seen these self-driving cars, but they are everywhere. And they didn't even ask us. I thought they'd have like a town hall or something. They'd be like, who wants to have self-driving cars? And we'd be like, I don't want them. Why would I want a self-driving car? And so they're everywhere and they keep populating and populating. And I'm like, kids can't drive. How come no one can drive? So they're and the Uber drivers and the truck drivers and the delivery drivers and the bus drivers, they're all going to lose their jobs. There's going to be Waymo unemployment. So these Waymos are like everywhere. The other day, my wife, she got a ticket in the mail, and it was a picture of her car parked on the side of the road. And they said it's $275. And we're like, I did some research and I found out a bus gave her that ticket. A bus gave her car a ticket. And I'm like, does my wife have to pay it? Maybe our car has to pay it. Since a bus gave the car, maybe the car has to pay it. I don't know. But they're after us. We thought RoboCop was going to look like Peter Weller, but apparently it looks like a white Jaguar driving around.
Those cars scare me.
I
don't know if you're done your bit, but
that's it.